Hey there, welcome back to the channel. This is WGK's Public Safety Images, and today I'm going to do a short all-about video that is all about the Charlotte Fire Department's Fire Station number 15. So without any further ado, Fire Station 15.
Battalion 2, engines 35, 40, 34, and 27, ladder 40, and safety 1, house fire, 3312 Ashley Keith Drive, on station Charlotte.
Hey, and welcome to this all-about video. I'm a public safety fire photographer in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, and just wanted to let you know that in addition to these videos, I also do some Q&A or tutorial type videos for folks who are interested in learning more about photography and specifically fire photography. So if you don't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. But on to the video. So as we get going on this all about video, all about Charlotte's Fire Station 15, let's start out with a little trivia question. When the department first opened Station 15, how many stations, including 15, was the Charlotte Fire Department operating from? Give you a hint, it wasn't 15. But beyond that, let's get going and let's start this the way I start a lot of my all about videos, and let's do a little history and go back to the late 1950s and the city of Charlotte. The 1950s in Charlotte, like much of the country, was a period of optimism and growth. Between 1950 and 1960, the population of Charlotte went from 134,000 to more than 200,000. That decade also saw the city's second television station, as well as Ovens Auditorium opening. It was also during the 1950s that several regional banks were formed in the Charlotte area, beginning Charlotte's climb to becoming a national banking capital. It was also the period where automobile traffic was beginning to take precedence, and it was during the 1950s that the big cross-town boulevard, Independence Boulevard, was planned and built. This movement towards automobiles also led to the opening of the first enclosed retail shopping center in the Carolinas when in 1959 the Charlottetown Mall opened. Until the 1960s, however, Charlotte's physical size had remained relatively unchanged. In 1950, the city was comprised of approximately 33.5 square miles. Between 1950 and 1960, the city slowly annexed small parts of the surrounding areas, adding about 5 square miles in area to the city's limits. However, that all changed in 1960 when the city nearly doubled in size with an annexation of 34 square miles, bringing the city's total area to just over 72 square miles. The map above depicts the city of Charlotte's boundaries in 1959 and then with the additional annexations of 1960. Just a note, the annexations are accurate, however the base map is on today's current map, just to give you an idea of how big the city was. Also indicated on the map are the locations of the Charlotte fire stations that were operational in 1959. As pointed out in this 1961 article in the Charlotte News, the Charlotte Fire Department was a well-regarded department in the 1960s. The department operated from 12 stations and had 370 firefighters working. The department also had an insurance class rating of 3. However, with the city's size doubling with the annexation of 1960, the city and the fire department had to come up with a plan to expand coverage to those new areas of the city. The department, working with the Charlotte Mecklenburg Planning Commission, came up with a plan to add 6 new fire stations to the city to cover the newly annexed areas. In 1961, the department opened Station 12 on Inwood Drive, and in 1962, the department opened Stations 13 and 14, with 13 on Glenwood and 14 on Sharon Amity. Then, in 1965, the department opened Station 15 on Frontenac Avenue in East Charlotte, near the corner of Shamrock and Eastway Drives. And for those of you counting the stations on the map, you'll notice with the opening of Station 15, the department now operated out of 16 stations. The Morris Field station wasn't numbered, however, was staffed by the Charlotte Fire Department in conjunction with the North Carolina Air National Guard. That station didn't get numbered to number 17 until a few years later. However, that's probably a topic for another All About video. Fire Station 15 was officially opened by Mayor Stan Brookshire on Monday, March 7th, 1966. The station went into service with a new engine company, Engine 15, which operated a 1962 Seagrave engine with a 1,000-gallon pump and a 300-gallon water tank. As noted in the article, the station costs $77,000 to build. Over the years, Engine 15 has continued to operate one of Charlotte's standard engines. At one point, they were operating a 1968 Seagrave, 1,500 GPM pump, 500-gallon tank engine that was either formerly Engine 1 or Engine 21 and featured a white over red paint scheme. In 1991, they got a E1 Hush XL engine. Then, in 1999, an American LaFrance Eagle general safety engine, and then since that time, they've been operating the Spartan Smeal engines. In February of 1971, the department added a ladder company to Station 15. The ladder had originally been Ladder 8. However, in 1971, the department closed their old Station 3 and relocated that engine company to Station 8 to man a second engine, Engine 64. Ladder 8 was then moved to Station 15 and renamed Ladder 15. The first Ladder 15 was a 1976 Seagrave 85-foot rear mount platform and was in the lime green color that Charlotte experimented with in the late 70s and early 80s. Ladder 15 later got a 1979 Sutphen 100-foot mid-mount platform that had originally been assigned as Ladder 2 and was painted in the yellow paint scheme as shown. The department repainted it red when it moved over to Station 15 and became Ladder 15. Finally, in 1994, Ladder 15 acquired a Spartan Quality rear mount aerial with a 2,000-gallon pump and a 400-gallon tank. Ladder 15 operated there until July of 1996, when Ladder 15 was relocated to Station 23 and became Ladder 23. When the station returned to a single company station, it soon became one of Charlotte's busiest stations. As pointed out in this article in the Charlotte Observer in December of 2001, Engine 15 was running almost 4,000 calls a year, making it not only the busiest single company in Charlotte, but the busiest company in the Carolinas. In 2010, Engine 15 ran more than 4,600 calls again, making it the busiest company in Charlotte. And because of these high run numbers, the city of Charlotte opened a new infill station, Station 42, in January of 2012. The infill station was designed to take some of the load off several of Charlotte's busiest companies. And by 2020, Engine 15 was still running nearly 4,000 calls a year, although it had dropped to number 3 in the busiest companies behind engines 12 and 22. In 2023, Engine 15 was Charlotte's 4th busiest company, running nearly 4,200 calls in 2023. As of the making of this video, in May of 2024, Engine 15's response area includes about 7.2 square miles. And Engine 15, along with engines 22 and the companies from Station 27, remain some of the busiest companies in Charlotte. As a result, the Charlotte Fire Department is currently building Station 45, and that location is shown on the response map above. Once open, Station 45 response area will cut into 15, 22, and 27's area, hopefully relieving some of the load on those companies. Today, Engine 15 is operating a 2017 Spartan Smeal pumper with a 2,000 gallon per minute pump, a 500 gallon water tank, and a 30 gallon foam tank. The company's rig is easily identified with the Shamrock Express graphics, the Fighting 15 logo on the truck, and the Shamrock and green hand tools mounted on the bumper. So there you go. That wraps up this video all about Charlotte Fire Station 15. Hopefully you found it interesting, entertaining, and maybe even informative. If you did, I would ask that you please give us the thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. And otherwise, if you have some comments, some questions, if I made a mistake or there's an omission or something else you want to know, please feel free to leave that in the comments section. But otherwise, we'll just see you in the next video. Thanks.